We'll continue our review of right triangles now with special right triangles. So we'll see some 45, 45, 90 triangles and some 30, 60, 90 triangles. So our first one here is a 45, 45, 90, and that comes in the ratio of 1, 1, square root of 2. So 10 is to 1 as x is to the square root of 2. And I can just multiply this denominator, square root of 2, over here. So I get x equals 10 times the square root of 2, and that's over 1, which I don't need to write. And then 10 is to 1 as y is to 1. In a 45, 45, 90, these two legs are the same, so I can just go straight to my answer without showing work for that. Y is 10. Okay, next up we have a 30, 60, 90, and in a 30, 60, 90, we've got a ratio of 1, 2, square root of 3. 1 is the shortest, 2 is the longest, that's always the hypotenuse across from the right angle, and square root of 3 is the medium side. So I have n is to 1, as 10 is to, and I wrote a 1 here, that should be a 2, so I've got 1, 2 root 3. So n is to 1 as 10 is to 2. Okay, n over 1 is just n. 10 over 2 is 5, so n is 5. And then I have m is to root 3 as 10 is to 2. And I can multiply this root 3 across, and I get m equals 10 root 3 over 2. And 10 over 2 simplifies to 5, so I have 5 root 3. Okay, another 30, 60, 90. So I've got the shortest is to 1, the longest is to 2, and the medium is to the square root of 3. So I have x is to 2 as 2 root 3 is to root 3. And I have root 3 over root 3, which will cancel. And then I can multiply this 2 across diagonally, and I have 2 times 2, so x is 4. Then I have y is to 1 as 2 root 3 is to root 3. The root 3's cancel. I multiply across the 1, and I get y is 2. Okay, another 30, 60, 90. So I've got the shortest is to 1, the longest is to 2, and the medium is to the square root of 3. Okay, so y is to 1 as 10 root 3 over 3 is to 2. Now this one gets a little bit more tricky, but in this case I would say since we're dividing a fraction by another number, let's just make it a fraction divided by another fraction. So let's make that 2 over 1. And a quick shortcut to dividing fractions like this is to make an outer loop here, and I'm going to multiply these, and that will make my numerator. So I have y over 1, which is just y, equals 1 times 10 root 3, so that's 10 root 3. And multiply this inner loop here, and that is my denominator. 2 times 3 is 6. And then 10 over 6 simplifies. So 10 over 6, 2 goes into both of those 5 times and 3 times. So I have 5 root 3 over 3. Okay, so that's for y. Now for x, I have x is to the square root of 3 as 10 root 3 over 3 is to 2. Okay, now I can multiply this root 3 across, and I get x equals 10 root 3 times root 3, which is 10 times 3, so 30 over 3 over 2, and I'll do just like I did here and make it 2 over 1. And when I multiply my outer loop, I get 30 In my inner loop, I get 6. And 30 over 6 is 5. Number 17 is a 45, 45, 90. That's 1, 1, root 2. So I have V is the same as this leg right here, 4 root 2. Okay, so I'm done with V. Okay, then I have U is to the square root of 2, as 4 root 2 is to 1. And I can multiply this root 2 across. So I have 4 times the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, which is 4 times 2, so U is 8. And last, I have another 45, 45, 90, 1, 1, root 2. So I have Y is to 1, as 4 root 10 is to root 2. When I have a radical over a radical, I can divide inside those radicals. Y over 1 is Y, and 4 root 10 over root 2 is 4 times the square root of 10 divided by 2 is 5. And that means that X is also 4 times the square root of 5.